In the gleaming towers of Dubai International Financial Center, where million-dirham deals happen over morning Arabic coffee, Dubai police made a discovery that would shock the Emirates. Inside a luxury penthouse overlooking the Burj Khalifa, they found evidence of one of the most brutal crimes in the UAE's modern history. A successful businessman's life had ended in the most horrific way possible, dismembered by someone he trusted completely. Voila, this case shook the whole Emirates and left even experienced investigators questioning everything they thought they knew about love, betrayal, and revenge. But who could have done such a thing to Dubai's most successful businessman? Welcome to True Crime Journal HQ. Thanks to all our viewers and subscribers for your support. Stay with us for daily update on the most shocking true crime stories. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tariq bin Hassan wasn't born into the luxury that would later define his life. In the bustling streets of Kuwait City during the 1970s, young Tariq grew up in a modest two-bedroom apartment with his parents and 3 siblings. His father worked as a taxi driver, while his mother sold homemade sweets to neighbors to make ends meet. When Tariq was just 12 years old, his family made the life-changing decision to migrate to the UAE in 1994, seeking better opportunities in the rapidly growing nation. They settled in Sharjah, where rent was affordable and dreams seemed more achievable than back home in Kuwait. Even as a teenager, Tariq showed remarkable business instincts. While other boys played football in the neighborhood, he spent his afternoons in the traditional souks of Sharjah, learning how merchants negotiated, how they built relationships with customers, and most importantly, how small investments could turn into profitable ventures. His first taste of entrepreneurship came at age 15 when he started buying and reselling mobile phone accessories between different souks. The profit margins were small, but Tariq's determination was enormous. He saved every dirham, dreaming of something bigger than anyone in his family had ever imagined. After graduating from high school with exceptional grades, Tariq earned a scholarship to American University of Sharjah, where he studied business administration. His professors remember him as the student who asked the most questions, stayed latest in the library, and always had innovative ideas for class projects. During his university years, Dubai was experiencing its most explosive growth period. The emirate was transforming from a traditional trading port into a global business hub, and Tariq could sense the opportunities everywhere. He spent his weekends exploring construction sites, talking to developers, and learning about the real estate market that was reshaping the city's skyline. Upon graduation in 2001, Tariq landed his first job with a small real estate firm in Bur Dubai. While his starting salary was modest, he treated every transaction as a masterclass in negotiation and market analysis. His colleagues were impressed by his ability to connect with both local Emirati investors and international buyers who were flocking to Dubai's promising market. Within 3 years, Tariq had saved enough money to establish Hassan Holdings in 2004. His first office was a cramped space in Zara, but his vision was crystal clear: to become Dubai's most trusted name in luxury real estate development. His breakthrough came with a residential project in Jumeirah Village Circle, where he successfully sold 200 apartments before construction even began. This success caught the attention of major investors, and soon Hassan Holdings was involved in developments across Palm Jumeirah and downtown Dubai. By 2010, Gulf Business magazine featured Tariq on their cover as Dubai's rising real estate star, cementing his reputation as someone who had truly made it in the Emirates' competitive business landscape. Success in business opened doors to Dubai's elite social circles, where Tariq met Zara al-Zahra at a family friends majlis in 2009. Zara came from an established Emirati family with deep roots in Al Ain, where her grandfather had been one of the region's most respected date palm farmers. Their courtship followed traditional customs, with both families enthusiastically supporting the match. Zara was educated, sophisticated, and understood the demands of marrying an ambitious businessman. The wedding in Al Ain was a grand affair, with over 800 guests celebrating the union of 2 prominent Gulf families. The early years of their marriage were blissful. They purchased a stunning mansion in Dubai Hills Estate, complete with an infinity pool overlooking the golf course and a garage that housed Tariq's growing collection of luxury vehicles. Zara embraced her role as the wife of a successful entrepreneur, hosting dinner parties for Dubai's business elite and accompanying Tariq to charity galas and exclusive events. Their social calendar was packed with invitations to private beach clubs, weekend getaways to Ras Al Khaimah, and annual trips to London and Switzerland. Life seemed perfect for the couple who had everything money could buy. By 2020, Tariq had established himself as one of Dubai's most respected businessmen. His typical day began with Fajr prayer, followed by a workout session in his home gym, before heading to his DIFC office in his distinctive Rolls-Royce Phantom. Hassan Holdings had grown into a multi-million dirham empire, with projects spanning across the UAE. Tariq's office on the 40th floor offered breathtaking views of the Burj Khalifa, and his meetings often involved some of the most powerful figures in Gulf real estate. Despite his wealth, Tariq maintained strong connections to his humble beginnings. He regularly donated to charities supporting migrant workers' families and established a scholarship fund for underprivileged students at American University of Sharjah. His afternoons often ended at Emirates Golf Club, where he played with other business leaders, discussing potential collaborations over traditional Arabic coffee. Weekends were reserved for family time, whether hosting barbecues at their Dubai Hills home or taking Zara shopping at Mall of the Emirates. To everyone who knew him, Tariq represented the ultimate Dubai success story, a man who had built an empire through hard work, determination, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Have you ever dreamed of building an empire in Dubai like Tariq? And listen, if you're watching this and you still haven't subscribed, ask yourself this. If a man like Tariq, who had everything, could lose it all in one night, what makes you think stories like this can't unfold right next door? Subscribe now, because ignoring these warnings could be the biggest mistake, and if you choose not to, at least tell us why in the comments below. In early 2023, Hassan Holdings was expanding rapidly, and Tariq needed someone exceptional to manage his increasingly complex schedule and international dealings. That's when Rana Salam walked into his DIFC office for what would become the most consequential job interview of both their lives. Rana had arrived in Dubai just 6 months earlier from Beirut, armed with an impressive MBA from Lebanese International University and 5 years of experience working with high-net-worth clients at a prestigious Lebanese investment firm. At 29, she possessed that rare combination of sharp intelligence, cultural sophistication, and stunning beauty that made her stand out in Dubai's competitive corporate landscape. During the interview, Tariq was immediately impressed by Rana's fluency in Arabic, English, and French, as well as her deep understanding of Gulf real estate markets. She had done her homework on Hassan Holdings, presenting detailed insights about potential expansion opportunities in Saudi Arabia and Qatar that even Tariq hadn't fully considered. Within a week, Rana was hired as executive assistant to the CEO with a salary package that reflected her qualifications: a luxury apartment in Marina Walk, a company car, and access to Dubai's most exclusive business events. Her first day at Hassan Holdings marked the beginning of what everyone believed would be a purely professional relationship. Rana quickly proved herself invaluable. She reorganized Tariq's chaotic schedule, streamlined communication with international partners, and even identified cost-saving opportunities that impressed the entire executive team. Her office was strategically located adjacent to Tariq's, and soon their professional interactions became the foundation of what seemed like perfect workplace chemistry. Colleagues noted how Rana seemed to anticipate Tariq's needs before he even voiced them, how she effortlessly managed his most demanding clients, and how their working relationship brought out the best in both of them. What began as extended business discussions gradually evolved into something more personal. The first sign was the frequency of their late-night meetings at the DIFC office, often stretching past 10 p.m. when the towers emptied of other workers. Rana would order dinner from high-end restaurants, and they would review contracts and expansion plans while sharing meals that felt increasingly intimate. Business trips became their private escape from Dubai's watchful social circles. In Abu Dhabi, they stayed at separate suites at Emirates Palace, but spent every evening together, discussing strategies over expensive wine. Their London trip for the International Property Investment Summit became a week-long affair, where professional meetings blended seamlessly with private dinners at Mayfair's most exclusive restaurants. The gifts started subtly: a designer watch for her exceptional performance, followed by jewelry as a bonus for closing the Qatar deal. Rana's wardrobe upgraded noticeably, featuring pieces from Dubai Mall's luxury boutiques that far exceeded what her salary could support. Their secret dinners became a regular ritual: Tuesday evenings at Burj Al Arab's Al Muntaha restaurant, where they occupied corner tables with stunning views of the Arabian Gulf. Weekend brunches at Atlantis the Palm, where they could blend among Dubai's international crowd without raising suspicions. By December 2023, their relationship had crossed every professional boundary, transforming into a passionate affair that consumed both their thoughts and their carefully maintained public personas. Zara first noticed the changes in January 2024. Tariq, who had always been punctual about family dinner times, began arriving home later and later, citing urgent business matters that seemed to multiply without explanation. His phone, once casually left around their Dubai Hills mansion, now remained constantly by his side, buzzing with messages he would check discreetly. The man who had worn the same cologne for 15 years suddenly switched to a more expensive fragrance. His gym routine, previously limited to home workouts, expanded to include sessions at an upscale fitness center in DIFC, convenient for after-work activities that didn't involve coming straight home. During their weekly ladies' lunch at Jumeirah Beach Hotel, Zara's closest friends began dropping subtle hints. Amira Al-Mahmoud mentioned seeing Tariq's Rolls-Royce at Marina Walk on a Thursday evening when he had claimed to be in Abu Dhabi. Fatima Al-Qasimi, whose husband worked in the same DIFC building, casually mentioned how late the lights stayed on in Hassan Holdings' offices. The credit card statements became Zara's first concrete evidence: charges at restaurants she had never heard of, luxury shopping purchases that weren't coming home, and hotel expenses in cities where Tariq claimed to be conducting business alone. The amounts were significant, but more telling was the pattern: regular, scheduled expenses that suggested ongoing rather than occasional indulgences. Still, Zara hoped there might be innocent explanations for everything she was discovering. But Zara had no idea how deep this betrayal would cut. Has someone close to you ever betrayed your trust? How did you handle it? By March 2024, Zara could no longer live with the uncertainty eating away at her sanity. The sleepless nights, the constant questioning of every conversation, and the growing distance between her and Tariq had become unbearable. She needed concrete proof, not just suspicions and whispered concerns from friends. Through a discreet recommendation from her lawyer, Zara contacted Gulf Investigations, a boutique firm located in a nondescript office building in Jumeirah. The owner, Khalid Al-Suwaidi, was a former Dubai police detective who specialized in matrimonial cases for the Emirates' wealthy families. During their confidential meeting, Zara provided Khalid with Tariq's schedule, his typical routes between DIFC and home, and the locations where she suspected activities were taking place. She also shared copies of the suspicious credit card statements and the names of restaurants that appeared repeatedly. Khalid assured her that his team would conduct comprehensive surveillance without detection. The investigation would cover Tariq's movements during business hours, after-work activities, and weekend patterns. They would document everything with high-resolution photography and video evidence that would hold up in any legal proceeding. The surveillance began immediately. Khalid's team positioned themselves at strategic locations throughout Dubai, from the parking garage at Hassan Holdings to discreet vantage points near Marina Walk. They tracked Tariq's Rolls-Royce using GPS technology and employed sophisticated cameras capable of capturing clear images from considerable distances. Within the first week, the investigators had established definitive patterns in Tariq's movements that confirmed Zara's worst fears were about to become documented reality. The evidence began accumulating with devastating precision. Week after week, Khalid delivered reports that systematically destroyed any remaining hope Zara had harbored about innocent explanations for her husband's behavior. The first breakthrough came from Marina Walk. The investigators captured crystal-clear photographs of Tariq entering an apartment building at 7:30 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. The same night he had told Zara he was attending a business dinner with potential Saudi investors. The photos showed him carrying flowers and a small gift bag from Tiffany Co. More damning evidence emerged from Madinat Jumeirah. Video footage showed Tariq and Rana entering Al-Qasr Hotel together on a Thursday afternoon, with Rana wearing a distinctive emerald green dress. They were captured again 3 hours later, leaving through the same entrance, their body language unmistakably intimate as Tariq placed his hand on the small of her back while guiding her to his car. The financial evidence was equally devastating. Bank records revealed regular transfers from Tariq's personal account to Rana's Dubai bank account, amounts ranging from 5,000 to 15,000 dirhams monthly, far exceeding any legitimate business expenses or performance bonuses. But the discovery that shattered Zara completely was a photograph taken at Cartier in Mall of the Emirates. The image showed Tariq selecting an expensive diamond necklace while Rana stood beside him, trying on the piece with obvious delight. Zara recognized the necklace immediately. It was identical to one she had admired during their last shopping trip together, which Tariq had dismissed as too extravagant for her. The investigators had documented over 40 separate meetings between Tariq and Rana across a 2-month period, creating an irrefutable timeline of deception that extended far beyond casual workplace interactions. When Khalid delivered the final report in May 2024, Zara sat in her Dubai Hills living room, staring at photographs that destroyed 15 years of marriage in a matter of minutes. The man she had supported through his early struggles, the husband she had defended against her family's initial reservations, had been systematically betraying her for over a year. The financial implications terrified her almost as much as the emotional devastation. Under UAE law, she could lose half of everything: the mansion, the investments, even portions of her family's ancestral properties that had been merged into their joint holdings. The shame within Dubai's close-knit social circles would be unbearable. Everyone would know about Tariq's affair. Her humiliation would become gossip at every majlis and ladies' lunch across the Emirates. That night, as Tariq slept peacefully beside her, completely unaware that his double life had been exposed, Zara began planning her next move with the cold calculation of someone who had been pushed beyond rational thought. What happened next would shock even Dubai police's most experienced investigators. What would you do if you discovered such betrayal? Could there be another way out? And if you're still holding back from subscribing, think about this. Zara ignored the early signs, and look where it led. Don't be like Zara, blind until it's too late. Hit that subscribe button right now, and if you really think you don't need to, I challenge you to explain your reason in the comments. The confrontation came on a humid October evening in 2024, when Dubai's temperatures had finally begun cooling after the scorching summer months. Tariq arrived home at 8:30 p.m., expecting his usual warm welcome from Zara. Instead, he found her sitting at their marble dining table in complete silence, the private investigator's comprehensive report spread out before her like evidence in a courtroom. "Habibi, what's all this?" Tariq asked, loosening his tie as he approached the table. His casual demeanor evaporated the moment he recognized the photographs, crystal-clear images of him and Rana at Marina Walk, entering Al-Qasr Hotel, shopping for jewelry at Cartier. Zara's voice was eerily calm as she began presenting the evidence methodically. Bank statements showing regular transfers to Rana's account, GPS tracking data proving he had lied about business meetings, hotel receipts from Abu Dhabi trips where he claimed to be alone, but clearly wasn't. "This is not what it looks like," Tariq stammered, his face draining of color. "These pictures are taken out of context. Rana is my employee, nothing more." But Zara continued, her voice gaining strength with each revelation. She produced audio recordings the investigators had captured, intimate conversations between Tariq and Rana discussing their future together, their plans to eventually leave Dubai and start fresh in London. Tariq's initial denials transformed into desperate explanations. He claimed the affair was meaningless, a moment of weakness that meant nothing compared to their 15-year marriage. He promised to fire Rana immediately, to sell Hassan Holdings if necessary, to do whatever it took to repair their relationship. "You bought her the necklace I wanted," Zara said, her voice breaking for the first time. "The same necklace you said was too expensive for your own wife." When Tariq tried to approach her, reaching out to touch her shoulder, Zara recoiled with such violence that she knocked over her chair. The sound echoed through their mansion like a gunshot. "Don't you dare touch me with the same hands that have been all over her," she screamed, 15 years of suppressed anger exploding in that moment. Tariq, frustrated by his inability to calm the situation, made the fatal mistake of raising his voice. "What do you want from me, Zara? I said I'm sorry. People make mistakes." That phrase, treating their marriage as a simple mistake, triggered something primal in Zara. The woman who had built her life around supporting his dreams, who had sacrificed her own ambitions for his success, who had endured countless lonely evenings while he worked late, reached her breaking point. What happened next would forever change the definition of domestic violence in Dubai's criminal records. In a moment of blind rage, Zara grabbed the heavy crystal paperweight from their coffee table, an expensive piece they had purchased together during their honeymoon in Switzerland, and struck Tariq across the head with devastating force. Tariq collapsed immediately, blood streaming from the wound as he lay motionless on the pristine marble floor of their Dubai Hills mansion. But Zara's fury was far from satisfied. Years of humiliation, betrayal, and financial anxiety had transformed her into someone even she didn't recognize. Over the next 48 hours, Zara methodically dismembered Tariq's body in the same luxury bathroom where they had once shared intimate moments during happier times. She used kitchen knives from their high-end German cutlery set, tools that had once prepared meals for their dinner parties with Dubai's elite. Her actions were calculated, not impulsive. She researched disposal methods online, studied Dubai's waste management systems, and identified multiple locations across the emirate where she could scatter the evidence. The infinity pool in their backyard became a temporary storage location while she planned each step. Zara distributed body parts across Dubai's vast landscape, some buried in the desert near Al-Qudra, others disposed of in the deep waters off Jumeirah Beach during pre-dawn hours when the coast was deserted. She cleaned the mansion with industrial-strength chemicals, replaced blood-stained marble tiles, and repainted walls that had been splattered during the attack. To establish her alibi, Zara continued her normal social routine. She attended her regular ladies' lunch at Jumeirah Beach Hotel, went shopping at Dubai Mall, and even visited Tariq's office to inquire about his whereabouts, playing the concerned wife to perfection. She reported Tariq missing to Dubai police on the third day, claiming he hadn't returned from a business trip to Riyadh. Her performance was convincing. Tears flowed naturally as she described her worry for her beloved husband's safety. Dubai police initially treated Tariq's disappearance as a standard missing person case. Detective Inspector Ahmed Al-Rashid, a 20-year veteran of the force, began with routine inquiries, checking hotel records in Riyadh, contacting business associates, and reviewing airport security footage. The investigation took a dark turn when airport authorities confirmed that Tariq had never boarded any flights to Saudi Arabia on the dates Zara claimed. His Rolls-Royce was found in the Hassan Holdings parking garage, ruling out any possibility that he had driven to another emirate. The breakthrough came when investigators discovered Hassan Holdings' security cameras had captured Tariq, leaving the office on the evening of his disappearance, heading home to Dubai Hills. Phone records showed his device had gone silent at exactly 9:47 p.m. that night, just after the time neighbors reported hearing raised voices from the Bin Hassan mansion. Forensic specialists found microscopic blood traces in the mansion's main bathroom, despite Zara's extensive cleaning efforts. Advanced DNA testing confirmed the blood belonged to Tariq, and luminol revealed spatter patterns consistent with extreme violence. The final evidence came from CCTV cameras positioned along Dubai's major highways. Footage showed Zara's Range Rover making multiple trips to remote desert locations during the nights following Tariq's disappearance, trips she had never mentioned during police interviews. Dubai police arrested Zara at Dubai International Airport as she attempted to board a flight to London, carrying a suitcase full of cash and jewelry that represented the liquidated assets from their joint accounts. The investigation would uncover details that made hardened officers sick. Could you imagine living next door to such horror? How well do we really know our neighbors? Where are you watching from? Drop your location in the comments below. If you made it to this point, drop a comment with "I'm still here, let's see who is still watching." If you are enjoying this content, share it with your loved ones to protect them from the same tragedy happening to them in the future. The Dubai Court of First Instance witnessed one of the most shocking murder trials in UAE legal history, when Zara al-Zara's case began in February 2025. Presiding Judge Ali al-Mansouri faced the complex task of determining justice for a crime that had captivated the entire nation. The prosecution, led by Dubai Public Prosecutor Khalifa al-Suwaidi, presented overwhelming evidence. Crime scene photos, forensic reports, DNA analysis, and CCTV footage painted a clear picture of premeditated murder, followed by calculated disposal of evidence. The blood spatter analysis alone required 3 expert witnesses to explain the level of violence that had occurred in the Bin Hassan mansion. Zara's defense team, headed by prominent criminal lawyer Nadia al-Blushi, attempted an emotional defense strategy. They argued that years of psychological abuse, financial manipulation, and public humiliation had driven their client to a temporary state of insanity. Expert psychiatrists testified about the severe trauma experienced by betrayed spouses, particularly within traditional Gulf societies, where family honor holds paramount importance. The courtroom was packed daily with media representatives, legal professionals, and members of Dubai's business community who had known both Tariq and Zara personally. Social media exploded with debates about marital infidelity, women's rights in the UAE, and the pressures of maintaining perfect appearances in Dubai's competitive social landscape. Public reaction was deeply divided. Some viewed Zara as a victim driven to extremes by unbearable betrayal, while others saw her as a cold-blooded murderer who had destroyed not only her husband, but also the reputation of Dubai's expatriate business community. The case sparked national conversations about marriage counseling, domestic violence resources, and the hidden pressures faced by wealthy families. The shockwaves from Tariq's murder reverberated throughout Dubai's tight-knit business circles for months. Hassan Holdings, once a symbol of entrepreneurial success, faced immediate collapse as investors withdrew funding and major projects were cancelled. The company's 150 employees found themselves jobless within weeks, victims of a crime they had no connection to. Rana Salam became Dubai's most talked-about figure. Though she never faced criminal charges, the Lebanese executive found herself unemployable in the UAE's corporate sector as companies feared association with the scandal. Within 3 months of Tariq's death, she had been quietly deported back to Beirut, her Dubai dreams shattered by circumstances beyond her control. The Dubai Hills community, previously considered one of the Emirates' safest residential areas, experienced unprecedented security concerns. Neighbors who had waved to Tariq and Zara at the golf club now questioned how well they truly knew the families living behind those perfectly manicured gates. Property values in the community dropped by 8% as some residents relocated to other areas. The UAE's expatriate business community implemented new protocols. Companies began requiring background checks for senior executive assistants, while several firms introduced mandatory ethics training, focusing on appropriate workplace relationships and the legal consequences of extramarital affairs in the region. This tragedy reveals the devastating consequences when betrayal, pride, and revenge intersect within Dubai's pressure cooker social environment. Zara's transformation from supportive wife to calculating murderer demonstrates how financial security and social status can become prisons when marriages fail. The warning signs were present but ignored. Tariq's behavioral changes, unexplained expenses, and emotional distance should have triggered honest conversations rather than secret investigations. Dubai's culture of maintaining perfect public appearances prevented both partners from seeking help when their marriage began deteriorating. The case highlights the dangerous isolation experienced by some expatriate wives in the UAE, where traditional family support systems are thousands of miles away. Professional counseling services, though available in Dubai, remain underutilized due to social stigma and privacy concerns. Most importantly, this story demonstrates that wealth and success provide no immunity from the fundamental human emotions that drive people to unthinkable actions. Behind Dubai's glittering towers and luxury mansions, real people face the same relationship challenges as everyone else, with potentially deadlier consequences. What lessons can we learn from this tragedy? Share your thoughts about justice and revenge in the comments. Before you click away, ask yourself this. People like Zara walk among us, hidden behind perfect lives, luxury cars, and smiling family photos. If you don't subscribe, are you ready to admit you'd rather stay blind to the dangers lurking in plain sight? Subscribe now, or drop your excuse in the comments because silence won't protect you.